Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's August 27th, 2025, 6:02 p.m. Call the Village of Homer Planning Board meeting to order. First item on the agenda is site plan review for home occupation for daycare. Applicant is Alicia Cash. She is present, I believe. And the resident, it's a property at 10 Park Avenue, tax map number 076.25-01-10.000. It's in the R2 zone, references section 228-12C2 of the village code. And the applicant wishes to operate a daycare in her home. And now I'll bring it over to you, the presentation, what you want to do.
Sure. So I just have a very small, well, first of all, my name is Alicia Cash, everyone calls me Allie. I have currently been where I'm at for I've lived there for 35 years. The neighboring properties as well. For 3 years now, I've run a small, very informal daycare. I did not realize I needed a permit, Homer. If I realized that, I would have gotten one years ago. So I'm just here to just explain to you guys that it's just a very small home daycare, and I just hope to keep it going, so I don't have to uproot my families. And yeah, I'm under all code. I follow all New York State regulations. I have some emails from the Portland County Child Development Council, excuse me, saying that I am legal and under our regulations. Everything was passed through the Cortland board meeting last week, with just some conditions, I'm using more than the 30% gross floor space, which I am totally fine with, applying for the variance or whatever that is that I need to do, or I can cut down the space if needed. I've spoken to the majority of my neighbors. Jeremy Stiles is one of them. I am very aware that he does not want any parking in his area, properties, anything like that. So none of my parents will be parking anywhere near his property. I spoke to my other neighbors and they have no issues whatsoever with anything, any parking, any drop-offs, pickups, anything. So I've already rearranged the parking. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't think that there's anything else. If you guys have any questions, please. I'm gonna open book.
On here, it says that you have 7 families.
Yes.
7 families, how many children is that?
So it's seven children. I mean, that's just 7 children. I'm sorry.
Is there a fence? You have a fence?
He put up a fence on his side and then I have a a 3-foot plastic fence on the other side. But that's not, it's kind of just like with the other side, our property line is very close to the other neighbor, so I would talk to her about, and then obviously getting a permit about another fence. But I do have one up, it's just not 4 foot tall.
Is this what you presented as a plan to the county as well?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sympathetic to this, but this is totally inadequate for me to make a judgment about where that fence is, where it's the Styles property is, where the houses all around it. This is if I even had trouble figuring out what Park Street is.
I was only told just to draw up the inside of the,
This is not adequate.
that's all I was told to do.
Zoning
So
tomorrow is not gonna find this adequate, I would think.
I wasn't told to do
I-
any
I'm
other
not
than,
blaming you.
yeah, no,
I
I'm just
understand.
saying, I did everything I was supposed to
I'm
do.
just appalled.
I can explain to you if you
I
want.
won't do.
Okay.
It's supposed to be well, this isn't a site plan.
This has already been well over a month, it's my income too, my income was completely taken away from me.
Yes, I agree, and so it's very critical.
It is, yes, so I wish that things were told to me.
So this
The
is,
proper way.
what is the issue here? This is not a change of use, this is an approval for an activity in a R2 zone. What do you think?
Well, I guess what I wanna ask, I'm trying to the village attorney, and of course. I think part of the problem here has been a little bit of miscommunication.
Correct.
And how I feel. everything should have been flowing through Kevin McMahon.
Mhm.
He's the code officer. Everything should have flowed through Kevin.
Yes.
I don't know who told you that the sketch plan itself like that was acceptable.
He did.
Did you tell her that?
I may have, I don't know.
Okay.
Usually I look for a site plan that shows the street and the house location.
Our meeting actually was not that great. I actually left his office crying and I went to his office.
Well, I think part of the issue is this. I think this is something, it's not just with this applicant. Certainly, I will do what we can do here. But I think there has to be more adherence to what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done on certain things. I gotta be honest with you, when I first heard this, I'm being told it's like a full-fledged daycare.
Mhm.
Well, that's, what I first get, and that doesn't come from Kevin. And at that point, if it's a full-fledged daycare, I don't have to tell you, you
Right,
need
oh,
to stay.
I would have
So,
been turned it
That
off.
seems to be the disconnect here,
Yes.
is that, there's an application that should, in writing, very succinctly say what is going on or what is proposed, so that we don't get into this situation that, we're in right now. Now, apparently county planning has reviewed this.
Yes. They've already passed it.
Well, what they probably did is, I'm assuming they either sent a letter, one of their technical review letters, or did they do a full-fledged report?
Full-fledged report.
So if they did a full-fledged report, what are their recommendations?
We're right here. with the-
Let me see what you got.
And this is exactly, and I'm willing to fix them. Like you said, I agree. I think communication was a big thing. I would like to, you guys also just to take in consideration the neighboring, property that Jeremy bought was in my family for 35 years. And I've always had access. So it's just brand new to me. It's just new having someone say, no, you can't have access to have, and I get it, it's fine. But also the communication to me would have been wonderful. He communicated with my parents a few times, but never with me. He was supposed to come back to communicate with me on a Friday after he spoke to my father, but then he never showed up.
How long's Mr. Styles been there?
Huh?
How long's,
I'm not, he bought the property, I'm not sure exactly, he bought the.
I purchased the property earlier.
a new owner? So this is, applicant is requesting a site plan review. Our code says what a site plan review requires. It's to scale site plan. Sorry,
I don't know what that means.
I know, you have to be educated about that, right? And by the way, there's analysis of, oh, that's theirs, but your write-up is quite, I think, professionally done. It's, you're stating what, your intentions are.
Yeah, I've been working with children my entire life.
Oh, yeah, so that's good, except this is news to me, but it was just brought up that there's a distinction between a full-fledged daycare and what you're running, what is, can you educate me on that?
Sure, so a full-fledged daycare, you have to be licensed student in New York State. And that's exactly what I want, but I wanna be commercial, I want a commercial building, which means I need to get out of where I'm at. Well, of course, I need to save up to be able to do that, I need to be able to apply for daycare grants, daycare loans, and which I'm doing. And that's my ultimate goal, but for right now, I can only do what I'm allowed to do, and that's set up. So I fall under an informal home family daycare. So I have letters from the families and I have an email from the Flushing County Child Developmental Council. That it's just a non-exempt family run home daycare that does not meet any regulations or approvals. When I do move, yes, because I'm like, that's why I can't have any more than what I have.
And how long have you been doing this in this house?
3 years. And that's why if I knew I would have done this a long time ago if I knew I needed this.
Right.
I had no idea that I needed to have a permit.
So this is your first floor, and this shows here, that playroom.
Yep.
Personal, where's the kids?
Can I come?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay.
Where's it?
So, alright, so when you walk into my house, you're gonna walk into the living room. This is where you'll see like one set of cubbies for them to put coats and stuff on. And then there's like a TV right here. There's an L-shaped couch. I have Miss Rachel chart for our morning meeting. I'm sorry. That's okay. When you walk this way, this is my long hallway. This will go right to the kitchen. This is where it's mainly I just cook all the meals. They sit here to eat. They do have a play kitchen and I have a sensory bin in here as well. I can use that monthly. When you go back into the hallway into here, this is the bathroom, which I have locked at all times, with a gate, but my older friends know how to get in and out. Keep going further down the hallway to the right, that's what I have as the playroom / nap area, but that's also the room that I am totally fine with cutting down space because of the recommendations of using only the 30% space. And then this is my bed, this is just our space, that's not even.
So for example, we would wanna know that you would have to label these things as play area two, because this is off limits, right, to them?
No,
Then-
this, well, they use the bathroom,
But.
I have potty training.
So, right, so what's the square footage of this ground floor now? And it's 30% of the building, so there's another second floor?
No, it's just a one.
It's like a single.
Oh, so
It's just a
you'd be-
single.
You'd be using 100% of the single. Yeah.
No, because there's a laundry room I don't use, there's a whole separate space out back I don't use.
So you don't live there?
No, I live there, yes, I'm here.
Oh, oh, this is personal space.
Yes,
So
that's
that-
personal
That's it,
space.
so this is
Yes,
kids. How
yes.
could you give this kid?
I would, no, this is kids, and then I would change this to this, and then I would be kids up front, my space in the back. So then that would
Right.
cut down.
So-
understand what I'm
so-
saying?
So
Yes.
it's only this would be kids. So
Correct.
This is less than 30% of the.
I'm not sure, I would have to
So
go.
we need, that's why we need a scale. How big are these rooms? You know, how long is this?
I thought I did put the. I thought I really, in one of the papers, I thought I added the square footage of the rooms. I could actually get that information if you
And
want
kids
it.
play outside too, right?
Yes, and that's,
So this is, I'm very adamant about this. This is totally inadequate.
well, if I would have known the right way
know,
to do
you
it, I
got-
would have done
you
it.
got bad recommendation, not an education,
I think
basically.
that this was,
It's not the right, it's a different process.
Oh,
This is what a site plan, this is a topographical survey. You need that.
Well, I
I don't know,
was told.
well, you go to county planning or someplace, because you don't have a current survey made because you've been living in there for 35 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's my family.
so you
home.
have to dig up something like this to scale, to show where your house is in relationship to the outside, how big the side yard is, where this Styles property is, where its driveway is, you know, we
Okay.
can't relate to this.
Alright, I just
I'm
wish that it would have
I'm
been,
sorry to delay you more about it. I mean, that's my take. There are other words,
Yeah.
other people who have something to say. But,
this has already been ongoing for over a month. I'm a single mom of 2 and my income is
Well,
dramatically being,
I'm sure.
this is not.
So when were you shut down?
When he told me to and I went and cried. So I only have 4. I have 4 family members. That's all I can have. I'm not allowed to have any more.
What's that threshold about? Why four versus
Because it's it's you guys in the code and the permit. I don't wanna get in trouble. It's not
I
the
know,
same
but
as
what's the
what
difference
is, what
between
does
four
the
and
code
seven?
say? What's the reasoning for 4 and not 7?
I only did that for
I
my
only
personal,
heard
because I just didn't
okay.
wanna get in trouble. That's all. I'm just trying to
Oh,
make you
okay.
guys see that I am trying to do
Right,
the
I
right
know,
thing.
but there's something is four legal?
No.
Oh, four's not legal either. You said you're doing four now.
Yes, I have 4. 7 is legal, but I didn't wanna do 7 all of like the whole time because I wanted to show you guys that I'm trying to do right.
But even
then
four is not legal.
Yes, it is right now.
Why? Based on the code?
Well, not on, well, based on the having no permit now,
What
but
is our
based on
code
New
say?
York state law, yes.
Code just says daycares are allowed in R2s, doesn't have to give it an amount of regulations like with the states regarding how many kids and things like that, that's what they go by. Our code has no bearing on that, it only states that daycares are allowed
So
in where this house is.
does it differentiate between in-home daycares and
Nope.
daycare facilities?
Just, well, I mean,
What-
it says doesn't say commercial daycare or in-home daycare, no, it's just.
So what does New York State, what does New York State say regarding, getting you certified to be an in-home daycare? What do you have to do for that?
So I just have to all fill out an application, they'll send me the application, I'll fill it out, and then they come do all their things, they
And-
do like a plan, a site plan review, all that thing. all of it.
And they didn't tell you that at any time that you needed to check with your municipality to see? I wouldn't know. Do that
I have, and then this is the first time I've ever come to anything like this, I've always done the right thing, I've never, and I did exactly what was told, but also I'd like to mention when I was called in, when I went into the office with Kevin, I asked questions and he wouldn't answer them, he kept talking to me in code. So unfortunately, I am a woman that likes to cry a lot, so I started crying because my income just ripped away from me with no explanation, so I actually went and spoke to the town clerk, and he's the one that helped me. And told me that I could have at least a little bit, so I didn't have to go
I
off.
think
of,
that's
you know.
what's becoming the issue. Is Again, I think we have to, at this point, try to stay with one voice and then let that voice talk with the other people behind the scenes. Now, it looks like that the county has approved this. Now, are you on for a variance?
Here's.
It's right.
I got it right here. I got it right here. Are you on for a variance?
I don't know, I'm not
That
sure.
application has been submitted, John.
So if you read this, let's worry about what the site plan looks like right now later. Is that it recommends approval. That the village determine whether the land, adjacent land uses are protected. That would be talking about, at least to some degree, specifically Mr. and Mrs. Stiles and the neighbors being protected from parking in the land. That's number one. Number two is the applicant apply for and obtain a maximum gross floor area variance or demonstrate to the village that the proposed use will occupy less than 30% of the required floor area. Now, are you gonna use less than 30%?
And that's what I wanted to come talk to you guys about, because
But
that's.
this isn't the board that talks
Okay,
about.
so so then what I would do is apply, either just go down to the 30% or apply for the variance. I just don't know what that means. Like I said, I've never done this before,
Right, so
so.
you go to the zoning board. And
Right,
put on
so-
the agenda, the zoning.
And you don't have your application in before the zoning board of appeals. So you would be going into September if you wanted to have a variance from less than the 30% required floor area. That's gonna be your call. And then the final matter would be that the village determine whether the current clientele constitutes more than normal residential traffic. And those would be some questions that you would be asking about how the traffic is on that street. with
And I
this
could give you
business.
exact times.
So I think the question becomes here is more or less at this point, what do you want to do when it says here the applicant apply for and obtain a variance for the maximum gross floor area or demonstrate to the village that the proposed use will occupy less than the required 30% of the floor area?
So I guess what my first thing will be is to see what 30% of my floor area is, see what that space gives me. If it's enough, then sure, I'll just leave it, but if not, no, I can't let the kids not have enough space. So then I would apply, I would have no choice. But then it sounds like, once again, I'm gonna go without the proper amount of income, and you guys know how much even alone groceries are.
That's critical, but if I'm looking at this. And this, well, I don't, it's so out of scale. That we can't even make a judgment that if you reduce this, you'd be below 30% right now. If you just look at this whole thing here, all this would be your reduced area, right? You said you'd
Yes.
switch this with this,
Correct,
No,
I would
it's-
have just these areas, I would have these areas.
just these two.
And the bathroom, because they're obviously just for them to use the bathroom.
Right, so,
But you need to figure out the square footage of the house.
Which I did, I really thought I added it on there.
so if you, we're under 30%, this factor wouldn't be a condition for you not to proceed right away.
Right.
And if you wanted to go beyond the 30%, you could make an application to the zoning board, okay?
Yep.
So that takes care of that one, I think. The last one here, number 3, is it more than normal residential traffic? I think we could probably discuss that based upon how much traffic you have.
Mhm.
7 people dropping off kids twice a day, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Your biggest problem right now, not to get moving, is the village determine whether the adjacent land uses are protected. And I don't see any way that, based on this, without a site plan, a survey and to scale, and Mr. Stiles' property and neighbors' properties showing up,
Okay, well, I just wish that was said
Yeah,
to
I
me
know, of course.
a month ago,
of course.
so I don't
I agree,
understand.
and I apologize for that.
It's
On
not
behalf of the
okay.
board. So, yeah.
So are you guys telling me that again, I can't continue any of this until I figure this out? Because if that's the case, I'm getting a lawyer involved next.
I wouldn't blame you.
I
Can I
guess, because
speak?
I'm all done. All I'm trying to do is help families. All I'm trying to do is raise my family. All I'm trying to do is get a commercial building so I can have a daycare for people to trust. There's no daycare, no reliable daycare. there was actually a daycare a couple months ago that was drugging kids, okay, drugging kids, and you can actually pull it up, she was sent to jail. She was giving Benadryl to children, and it's awful.
We're not arguing. you know.
I'm not arguing, I'm just trying to put a point, I'm just trying
Yeah, I
to
know.
point, and put my
It's
point
very
across
easy
that I
to
would have
say.
done. Can't you see that I've gotten everything together? I would have done it, what I was supposed to do if I was told. But again, the code enforcer was really rude to me and wouldn't even talk to me. He talked to me and, anytime I'd ask questions, he would not talk to me. So
Is
how am I
there-
supposed to know?
Is there someone at the daycare council that can assist you with?
Yes.
With this, I would highly recommend talking with.
Well, I've already talked to them. They've already sent me everything saying I'm legal and that there's no
As far
trouble.
as far as
Like-
Question is,
Figuring this out. Sorry.
I don't think there's a question as to whether or not you're legal. I
Right,
think
I am
part of the
legal.
problem here is this. And I'm more than willing, if you want to move on to the second agenda item, table this for a few minutes. And if the young lady wants to talk to me, she wants to get an attorney, have at it, get an attorney. I can try to talk to her and see if we can get this straightened out and see if we can get this on track. And I'll tell her at this point to contact me so that we can get some things. What my suggestion probably is gonna be, just so you know, is if she can go down to real property tax. And I'm not saying she's gonna be able to do this, because I don't know how old the last survey is of that property. It may be an old survey. When did you buy the house?
My dad bought it, from my grandfather, it was 10 years, 15 years ago.
Okay, so there may be an old survey. If there's an old survey, ever get the old survey, because it may not show the current neighbors, but at least it's gonna show the house as it pertains to some of the real common neighbors and the road. If that can't be done, then we could possibly try to use a tax map. That would be at least somewhat beneficial. And then, once we have that, and then if she could do her homework a little bit and clean up that, what Mike's looking at right there, and get a square footage, then we could figure out what we could do and get this before your board next, at the September meeting. And then if she fills out a variance, at least just gets the variance in, she may or may not need the variance depending on the 30% threshold. She may decide, but the ZBA meets tomorrow night. So she may be able to get this all done between, next month from next, what would be Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, be able to get that done. And then she would have to just, indicate to you that she is keeping under the limit that would require state licensing or certification, and that she also has to meet 1 and 3 of the recommendations of the code, of the county, the county planning recommendations. That seems to me to be at least a happy medium here about getting some things that need to be done. Now, if she doesn't want to do that, and don't have a vote on the board, you can try to do what you want to do tonight. That's up to you, and that's up to the applicant. But I don't mind stepping in if need be to get this thing done. And she wants to get an attorney, and she more than her right to get one, but that's what I can do. And it would be 1 more month, and then I would highly think that this would be resolved in a month. But that's up to the board, and it's up to the applicant.
Oh, I definitely think it can be resolved in a month
Mhm.
as well.
Let me ask you. Do you have someplace at home the figures, the measurements of the rooms in the building itself, the outside measurements?
Yeah, like a measuring tape.
Or do you have those?
Yeah. I could actually like text my father right now and get the measurements.
Well, you're gonna be able to do that too, if you have a survey and you go around the descriptions, a little bit of math was gonna get you the square footage of the house.
Well, you ask him if he has a survey.
I can message him right now and see.
I can't.
I
I
thought
could
that this,
vote this.
it says that it's approximately 1,388 square feet.
That's what I thought. I thought it added something.
It says it says here that the house is
Right.
a single story and approximately 1,388 square
There
feet.
you go.
The applicant site plan indicates that more than the maximum of 30% of the gross floor area is being used in conjunction with the daycare.
So then if it's more, he's gotta get the variance.
I'm on this because I started to write questions.
And that was my question to you guys was I will apply for the variance if needed, but.
The analysis part.
But I was gonna say.
It's on the bottom of page 2. She's saying it's approximately 13, let's just say 1,400 square feet, and she indicates that more than 30% of the floor area is used. That, then she's gonna have to get a variance on that issue. And in all fairness to Kevin, quite frankly, I mean, he has to speak in code. They're speaking in code too. They're going section this, section this, section this, section that. They're just putting it in writing. They did the same thing. So I mean, I understand that people that don't deal with it every day, and I certainly appreciate that. Don't deal with it every day, will have some problems understanding things, but it looks like. So we have, it's about 1,400, and it looks like that you need more than 30%, correct? So if you need more than 30%, you're still gonna have to go and get a variance.
But is there, excuse me, is there a way you can utilize less than, utilize only 30%? Right now,
That's what I was wondering. It's with this,
Well,
because I
we-
think
we-
technically.
We would need the size of
Numbers.
these, we would need the size of these rooms to know whether you're under 416 square feet.
The size of each room that I'm using for the
All
daycare.
the space that you say is
This-
daycare, that 8 kids gonna run around in and go and utilize here. They're not using the laundry room, this, or 2 bedrooms. They're using this, how much is this area?
Okay.
They're coming into the front door. This whole area would have to be more than 416 square feet.
could we, could you get that tonight?
I just messaged my dad for the square footage of each room. He has it. Normally, he knows it right off the top of his head.
I think we're pushing it too fast. There's no way, unless he has a survey, and we start doing all this homework here. You know, I know that.
And I have a few questions. First of all, I'm just gonna say that yes, Homer needs daycare. And my
Yes.
mother-in-law did this for many, many years out of her house
So
in
you look very
Homer.
familiar to me.
So, yikes. But I'm just so I know that. But I also know by somebody who lives, I know Park Street, it's pretty narrow. It's not a very wide street.
Yes.
I live on Hannah Ave, not a very wide street. So people are, I get it that it's just a drop off.
Yes.
But I'm just picturing this in my head, you know, at 6 a.m, I'm trying to go to work, I'm backing out of my drive. I mean, like, what kind of traffic situation is going on here?
So we never, and right in front of my house, they drop off right there, and then I spoke to my neighbors next to me, not Jeremy, the other neighbors, I can't remember the tenants' names, I'm sorry, but Penny and Dave Curl, thank you, are the ones that are over there. Parking in front of that house is totally fine, and then just going with all the street regulations. I have one drop off at 6 that's very quick. Another one, the other one is at, they vary, the rest are, the other 3 are between 7 and 8, and it's right in front of my house now. I actually messaged all of my parents numerous times and just said to stay off that side of the street.
And how is that when buses are loading and trying to get into the high school and you have a lot of buses go down that?
There's a before school and after school bus that drops off and they're just right there. There's never an issue. I actually have parking there's somebody parked there when the garbage truck comes to, and there's no issue. He can pick up the recycling and garbage without even touching any of the vehicles, so. There's no issue there. And I can fit 2 in my driveway.
Here's a satellite image of 10 Park Avenue.
I have it on the screen.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's better than this one.
Ah,
So can you describe your house, which is,
Sure.
what is
Can
the
I roll
house and where's Lizzie's driveway?
So where, I just gotta see where I'm at. Hold on. Is this me? Is this 10?
Says 10 right on top there.
10. Okay, so this is me. So this is Jeremy. This is Jeremy's driveway. This middle part is now Jeremy's property. This also goes to the Outback though, and the Outback neighbors did actually give me permission, but I don't want to mess with any of that. So I've just ignored all of this now. So this is me. I have parking right here, and then this is Penny and Dave Carell's house. Their tenants told me I could have parking here. There's no parking across the street. There's a sign over here for no parking. I have a fire hydrant, so the fire hydrant, we park, you know, I think it's the.
The parking they're talking about is on-street parking in front of your house.
It's
Public parking, not where the hydrant is.
correct,
So-
right. And then I've even had when this whole thing started, I even had a parent parked way down here, by the park, cause they just didn't know and they didn't wanna mess with anything. And cause with the cops being called and everything, I've done what I'm supposed to do. And I have messaged all of my families. I have asked them not to park over there. I have said to park on this side.
Well, when they park, how long are they there for?
I would say I've actually been paying attention to that, and the most so far has been about 5 minutes, and that's my talker. So I can cut that right down. She just likes to talk, but it's usually morning is very quick because parents have to get to work. So it's very quick, very fast, and most littles are sad, so you gotta be quick. But
So there's no parking on drive, where is your driveway?
my driveway is right here, so I can fit two. I have here and here, and I don't know what vehicles those are.
So
right,
people would be allowed to pull in there behind, said like.
Yeah, because my father leaves at 5:30 in the morning, so this whole driveway is open.
How many cars fit in there?
Two. Yeah.
They
And
don't
they
all
can-
drive exactly at the same time, do they?
No.
So so you said that you're looking for a commercial building.
Yes.
To, how long do you think that that would be?
Well, my goal was I wanted to do it this year, but it just financially wasn't able, so now my goal is to do it by next summer, to be completely moved out in a commercial building, fully licensed, fully everything. Cause I'd like to have the rooms, I wanna have, you know, like a waddler room, toddler room, I wanna have a preschool room, I just wanna help as many families as I can, and I just love to be with kids.
Side yard that the kids would play in is.
Yeah, so right here, we're out back. We only play out back. Jeremy just put a fence up over here. Let me look, it's like right here. That's his fence. I do have a fence right here. It's those foldable, like colorful ones, I'm sure, families with kids know. I have that, and it's right to the edge of this edge of the property, all the way to the other edge of
And
the property.
those are the outbuildings, corner shed you have there?
Yeah, so that's gonna be removed we're actually getting a permit to take that down.
Who regulates that these fences are adequate, that the kids don't get out?
Well, that fence he just put up, so there's no way of getting it, that's
With your
right,
fence.
my fence, I'm always spray here, I put myself, so like when you're standing out in my backyard, the fence is all along right here. And it goes right to both of there's like to the shed and to the house, and I kind of stand like right here, but my kids know better anyway, they know it's not okay to pass the fence.
But you're not required to have a fence.
Not until I'm licensed once I'm licensed, yes, I will need to.
For an in-home
Or,
daycare,
no, like when I go out to like commercial and all of that.
okay, but for an in-home daycare, you're not required.
Not for what
To
I'm
get
doing,
licensed.
correct, no, unless anything has changed, no,
Can we hear from Mr. Snows?
please.
Done?
I can come back next time.
Normally we don't. but
Normally we don't give.
Since it's on a public hearing, you know, it's. So we're here to hear the applicant. Not on public hearing. Hey, Fran?
Well, I think, I know Jeremy, but if we're following the letter of the law, you're right. We're not supposed to, because it's not a public hearing. But that being said, it's covered in one of the recommendations of the county plan. It's covered in number 1. Recommendations.
So let him.
Mike Blanchard's back.
Mike?
Sure, I think maybe, yes. I'm sure.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay.
the question becomes, is. You wanna table it tonight so that she gets more information? I mean, all you saw pretty much what's there. I mean. Guess you can get a survey map, but it's pretty much, it shows the same thing you just saw. Right there. And then the question's gonna be, is if she needs more than 30%, she's gonna need a variance. And then she has to address, I believe it's recommendations 1 and 3. That would be covered by the planning board.
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure why I can't speak, if one of the recommendations are to discuss this with neighbors, I'm not sure why I can't speak, because. So there was a fence put on the north end, so that was.
You didn't schedule a public hearing. That's why, correct?
Pardon?
You didn't schedule a
No, we
public
didn't.
hearing. That's why they didn't do it, and technically, Dan, I know, and again, we're trying to do this. The right way and the fair way, and a public hearing wasn't, we did this last night in Portlandville. We had 50 people there that really wanted to talk, and a public hearing wasn't scheduled and he can't talk. So I mean. Look, I'll do whatever you want me to do, but I think. A lot is gonna depend on what the applicant wants to do. As far as to whether or not she is gonna wanna come back if she needs 30%. You know, over 30%, she's gonna have to go to the ZBA anyways. So there's not much, even if you did something tonight. She's still not gonna be totally approved because she's gotta go next month to the zoning board of appeals for an area variance.
That's if I apply for the variance.
Well, if you apply, if not, you've got to show
Right.
where that, out of that 1,400 square feet, that you're under 30%. And there's no way of figuring that out
Right.
because you don't know the dimensions of the rooms.
You're trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm asking for. So, I mean, it says, as Mr. Stiles points out, that the village determined whether adjacent land uses are protected. And we have to do our homework to do that, and we would ask to be assured that they are protected. So Mr. Stiles is here. I would think that we would see it from his point of view, if his land is protected or not. Whether it's a public hearing or not, he's part of our research.
Look, you do what you want. You do what you want.
You know, what do you have to say, Mr. Stiles?
I just wanted to mention that there is a fence put on the north end that does protect my property. There wasn't one there before, I put one there, so it does protect my property with a fence. My only other concern is this parking.
So as we understand it, we need 2 cars that could park in the driveway. That is her driveway, and the rest of the cars, if those spaces aren't available, would be parking in the street. And parents would be walking with their kids down in front of your house.
You said there's 7 families? No, 7 kids, okay.
How many families total?
So there's 5.
So
5 families, 7 kids.
Yes.
And so, and I'm not trying,
No, you're
I just know from things that. The other thing is that you said that the neighbor says, oh, it's okay that you park here.
Yes.
But what happens if that neighbor sells their house in 3 months and then the new person says, I don't want these people parked here?
But it's street though.
But that's street parking.
Yeah.
Street parking, she's not talking about in their driveway.
No,
It's
it's
through
in front of their house, so I just want, cause Mr. Styles doesn't want it in front of his, so I just wanted to make sure it was gonna be.
So what if the new people don't want it in front of their house?
Then I would just.
Okay, I'm
Well,
just
other
saying,
people.
I'm just saying,
But it's,
But
yeah.
But again, I'm trying to.
But technically,
Can't
nobody
tell people
owns
they
the
can't
street
park in front of your
parking.
house.
You can't
Exactly.
say you can't park in front of my house. There's no.
It's in here.
There's no
Yeah,
street
we
parking,
asked them.
period, on that street.
There's no sign that says
There's
no
street
parking.
parking on that.
On either
street.
side?
Not my side.
There's no sign that says no street parking on it.
And he literally just
I
said.
drive up and down that street every day.
That says parking.
Every day.
Right across my house, there's one that says no parking for school hours.
Exactly, that says right there.
Just for school hours,
Park
On
there.
both sides or one side?
just one side.
Right, so you got your cars, plenty of spaces for 5 cars on the illegals, public parking area. That we cannot restrict here by saying land uses are protected. I mean, a homeowner cannot keep you off from parking on the public street in front of their house.
What I'm talking about is not on street, I actually have a blacktop area in front of my house, in front of my rental house. That's what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the street.
So please describe that better.
So
Yeah,
I'm not talking where the
first of all,
sidewalk was, that's
it-
all blacktop down through there, that's not the street parking, that is my private
Right,
property.
oh, and they pull out from there into the street? Is it like a parking lot?
People were parking in there and actually in my driveway, that was my concern.
Yeah, they can't,
And that I didn't realize, and that.
Yeah, you-
if he
you put it-
paid
you
somebody
put an
and
end to
told
that,
me, yeah,
but
He didn't. So are they still parking in your driveway? Yes. Okay.
Not since.
So can I ask a question about the blacktop area? Is that considered a driveway?
It's my private property.
But is it considered a driveway? Because I think.
Anything that's on my
You can't
property
really
is
cut
my
your curb
property. It's
longer
not
than it, you can't cut the curb to make your driveway.
It was
bigger
a
than
sidewalk.
sidewalk, it's my private property. It's not the town's property, it's not the village's property, it's my property.
Subject to the road, the properties are all subject to a right of way, I don't know what.
Right, I spoke to the DPW about it, there was a sidewalk there, I removed it, I blacktopped it, it's my property. It's not the village's property, that's clarified.
He shows up that on the map there, what we refer to.
So do you have to get like a permit to put in a new driveway because you removed
No,
a sidewalk to put in
DPW.
a driveway?
I called DPW and they had no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Isn't he a final arbiter?
Well, then bring Fran in here, because obviously you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Show us what you're talking about, so we have an understanding of where this is.
Well, regardless, they shouldn't be parking in this property.
Of course
But
not.
yeah, correct.
No, agreed, but.
So this right here is blacktop, this is blacktop. I went up onto the lawn, took the sidewalk, this is blacktop. This was never village property to begin with. The homeowner put the sidewalk there years ago. This was never village property. It's my property.
Yeah, sidewalk, did you say?
Yeah. That's the only sidewalk on this whole entire street, is right, because the homeowner put it out in front. There's no continuous sidewalk down through there at all. That's it. It's because Cash has put sidewalk in there, but there's no sidewalk on the rest of the whole entire street.
That was something that we had a
Right.
long time ago that most people like.
The village did not maintain it. The village has nothing to do
So
with
the
it.
cars park on that?
They used to, and I blacktop it and they were parking on it before. I just asked that they stop parking on it.
Who asked you?
And we have since.
And they have.
Oh,
Okay,
there,
good, okay.
yeah,
They have,
no, but your own, is that a rental property?
yes.
And so the tenants park on that, is that like a parking lot?
No, I have not rented it out yet. I'm still renovating this.
Will it be a place for tenants?
Absolutely.
In front of the house there?
Correct. And in the driveway, because I got I can put 4 vehicles in the driveway.
But, I have a rental property too, and I have grandfathered in since I own one. It's been like that since it was a trolley house with cars parked in the front yard. Don't think that's that's.
It's not front lawn. It's,
Why not? It's part of your house, between the road and the house. I think you should investigate that.
I guess we're not here because of me. This is
Okay,
turning into
well-
a shit show. I can tell you that.
Jesus,
Jesus.
I'm just giving you advice that before you.
We're not here because of me, right?
Yes, we are. We're here because of you. We just gave you an opportunity to talk to us because you are concerned about what's going on next door to you. So you are part of this thing that we're trying to use, that the land uses are protected of the neighbors, and that's how we got into this discussion. What is the nature of that protection that we're talking about? You have, and the concern you have for cars parking in front of your house. There's parking allowed there, so those people, your tenants parking in front of your house. won't
We're
be
not
able-
parking on the road. That's
They,
clarified.
like that, yes, but they're gonna back out. It's like a wide driveway now.
It is my property, my driveway,
Well, you have, there are curb cuts regulations in the village.
right? You're way beyond that. Way beyond that.
What's that mean?
You're way beyond the right of way. You're way beyond the right of way. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Aprons to driveways are controlled, so. So you can't put a 20-foot apron in front of your house.
It goes up to the road. It's not an apron. It's always been driveway. That is driveway. It's not an apron, it's a driveway.
As you
I
said,
think
as you said.
We need to like.
Stop.
It's
I agree with
not
you.
going
I
anywhere.
agree.
We
That's
also
what I'm
like that
trying to
here.
do.
I agree.
I think this needs to stop.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do initially.
I have some numbers if you want them. I don't mean to interrupt or anything, but my dad did just message some numbers if you'd like them.
Yeah, okay.
So the kitchen area that's labeled kitchen is 300 square foot. The living space that's labeled living room space is 300 square foot. The play area that's labeled playroom, this area right here is 240. Or I'm sorry, hold on, 180. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Bathroom is 180. And that's, oh, did I give you the kitchen?
Kitchen was 300.
Yep, got it, and that's.
Living room is
everything.
300.
Living room is 300, yes,
The playroom.
and then so I got the bedroom, that's personal space, but that's 120, that's 126. Kitchen's 300, living room is 300, this one's 180.
No, this is 180.
No, bathroom is 144. Sorry, it's heat, not, it's just, and then that's it, I think.
So what was 180, the bedroom number 2?
The one,
Playroom?
Natalie is 180, yes,
Okay, what, now you got something that says laundry room, separate living space.
yes.
What are those?
So that's just that's like a big laundry room where I have like my washer and dryer, all of my storage for all my clothes.
That's part of your private square footage, so how much, you don't know. the square
Let me
footage.
see, let's see, the laundry room, the laundry room with the entry room is 2,000 total.
2,000.
200.
Sorry, 200.
And that one that says separate living space.
Yep. And that's where my dad is. That's where my dad, that's no, like, that's not, that's completely off, like, limits to everybody.
But it's part of your, it's part of your square
Yeah,
footage.
so I don't know if he added, it says. So that square footage is 480. His square footage, the separate living space.
So you're using 67% of this house.
Okay. All right, so if I were to get rid of this. I'm still gonna need to apply it for.
Oh, how is this?
Are you using?
We get it.
Cause I don't wanna put that, I wanna have stakes too.
You're using 480 square feet. Living room and the
So-
bedroom number 2.
Yeah, so, well, and the kitchen, cause I cook in there for the kids.
But do the kids go in there with you?
Yes,
So this whole thing here is 53 percent of the total square footage.
Okay.
Without even counting this entryway and hallway, which kids are running into.
yes,
So in any case, there's no way
I'm just gonna apply.
you have to apply for it. And they'll want to see this diagram done up better.
Sure, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do, I just am frustrated that I just didn't get approval the first time.
It's complicated and it's hard for everyone to understand,
So
so.
this is very confusing. Okay, so, yeah, I will apply for the variance, whatever else you guys want me to do, let me know.
No,
I will not park in any of his areas. I haven't since he called the cops. I'm just trying to just be a good person.
I think you actually make a motion that basically states that the item 1 is acceptable to us, and item 3 is based upon the normal residential traffic is acceptable to us. I mean, the precedent here is that we're doing this basically using Google Earth. And this is evidence that it has to go before zoning, so number 2. It must go zoning, it can't be done any other way, can't put anything in here. Even a reduced space. But it could be, we could approve it pending that she gets zoning approval. Zoning variance.
And then that way she can go to the thing she can be there next month.
Let me
And
just
we
tell
know-
you this, talk with Mr. Stiles. And let me just say this. Trying to be as fair as I could possibly be. He is my client. He used me to buy that house. I knew nothing about this, but you heard what I was trying to do tonight when we said no public comment. Even though he's my own client, I tried to shut it down to be fair.
But I'm.
But he's told me he's not opposed to her business, nor is he opposed to her income. He just wants to make sure the parking and the traffic is in an orderly manner.
And that's where I think the communication just went off. I just wanted to.
And at this point, what needs to happen, however we handle this, I will step in once. I've been doing this since 1990. I will step in once. The rest of the time, it flows through the code officer and only the code officer. That's how this works. It goes through the code officer. And then if there are questions, the general thing that is said, we can't give you legal advice. If you want to use the assistance of counsel of your choice, go ahead. However you want to work this out tonight, that's how we can work it out.
entertain a motion.
Then I'm more than willing to talk with you.
Is there anything else we wanna discuss regarding this? Cause
I mean, as long as she's not parking, your families aren't parking in the driveway. Should be 5 minute, maybe drive.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah,
I agree with the motion that Mike made. I think that that's fair. I think it's fair to everyone involved and it's fair to her. And then she can,
but at least
And it's-
allow me to be able to survive while I continue to do what I'm supposed to do.
Well, what you're doing now, yes, whatever you're doing now, I guess.
Okay,
so
go for it.
Well, I'm sorry.
I just have a question because what she's doing now is she's had to reduce the number of children that she's carrying. So are we talking about approving this as a in-home business and that allows her to go back to business as usual?
I can keep where I'm at now, if that, I'm fine, and I can just stay where I'm at and do the I just need to get this going.
Alright, so this is what, you wanna go for a variance to go over the 30%. Can we get a variance application?
Yeah.
So we'll get a variance application. I'll get and I'll explain to her what needs to be done and how she needs to get the variance application in to be on for the next meeting. It will be like the latter part of September, I don't know the date, to go before. And if she doesn't need to go before the planning board again, then I guess you can grant whatever you're gonna grant tonight, conditioned upon her getting a variance to go over the 30% threshold. And then she can always do away with it if she doesn't wanna go above the 30% threshold.
You can't conduct business here at all, 30%.
So then you're gonna need to go with, and at this point, you just tell me what this board wants to do and I'll handle the rest.
Okay, first of all, our next board meeting will be September 24th.
So the ZBA will be the 25th.
Right. Now, Kevin, have you given her some kind of citation to stop on the daycare or anything?
No written citation.
Okay, so
So Fran, does she have to stay at 4 kids? Can she go back to the 7, or do you wanna wait until it's?
Well, it depends on what are you gonna do tonight?
well,
we had a motion.
Mike is suggesting that we say that, we would approve it, that, items, conditions 1 and 3 are met. But condition number 2, which is the gross floor area, is not met.
Therefore, we recommend.
And so I don't know, I'm just uncomfortable approving something without,
Well, it wouldn't be approving, my thing is not.
Let me do this. Table this for a minute, go on to the next one, let me talk to you.
okay, we'll table this until later this evening. Thank you for your patience, everyone. It's a little testy at times, but I apologize. If I
okay, so we.
have been given a sentence. There, but let's go to number 2. Number 2 is an application by Brian Cochran, is that correct?
Correct.
For to operate a seasonal flower stand with tent and small storage building at 139 Northwest Street, tax map number 66.49-01-12.000. It is a B2 zoning. And the intention is to operate a seasonal flower stand. And now we do have a report from County GML. technically adequate and no state or countywide impact. No recommendations from county and so the applicant would like to make a presentation. Let's give them.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Ryan Cochran. I'm a village resident with my wife. We've been in the village for 12 years. She was
I've been here my whole life.
Yeah.
Hannah Cochran.
born and raised.
Yep.
And what we're looking to do is open up a seasonal plant flower shop.
Hannah's Flowers, I don't know, if you remember it in Portland, we had Hannah's Flowers open right next to Coffee Mania. In that parking lot near Burger King, unfortunately, we had to shut down, due to the passing of my father, so it wasn't. By choice that we did, and at the time we weren't able to continue that just based on where we were in our lives, and this opportunity has kind of brought itself up to us and really local in our hearts because we're Homer. I work for the district, our kids go to the district, so we were really excited to have this be a chance to bring it to Homer.
We're looking to put this business as the vacant lot right now, north of Coffee Mania, which is, the lot is still owned by Coffee Mania. We are working closely with them and,
For all technical purposes, it's coffee grounds.
Coffee Ground, sorry.
That matters.
Obviously Michelle is here, which she is the owner of that, lot. And, that's the short of it.
This coloring is on top of that building, isn't it?
So that building is no longer there. That used to be an old,
It was a daycare.
daycare restaurant.
Yeah.
I think you need.
And it is completely removed.
Yeah.
So I was indicating with the coloring there, that's where the commercial tent would be. Behind the commercial tent would be the storage shed.
I don't know if you wanna hold this up or can you come over here? and
Sure.
describe this? This is the old gas station here, isn't it? That was the upholstery store?
Yes.
Coffee Grounds is right
Yeah,
here.
it used to be Sydney's, like.
Yeah.
Yes, restaurant with
Yeah.
Coffee Grounds is
And then
here. This building is still it's still a garage. It is still on site. Which would be the building on the bottom left. We would not be operating.
Here, we're beyond where the Coffee Mania. Coffee grounds.
I can go right here.
On the other side of the.
So Coffee Mania is here. This building is no longer here. It's an empty lot. And they own all the way up to this first house. But we would be operating out of this area right here, from that tree to that tree. Right to about roughly where my pen is. I believe it's 168 feet, is what the map that I have indicated on.
And there's still
There's absolutely nothing here except for gravel.
right, but you can still get in, right, like there.
Yeah, so right here, there is an entry and exit. I believe it's 35 feet wide.
So that whole business won't interfere with your,
No, they'll complement it beautifully.
the company, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, they won't.
the-
They
go
won't,
in there
they
at
will
all.
not,
Nope.
yeah, cross paths.
And what are your hours going to be, like what?
So I think we're still kind of, on the fence with that, but we're looking at maybe,
Probably 10 to 6.
yeah.
About 10 a.m.
Yeah.
to 6 p.m.
That is go. And I get on Zoom.
Yes.
I just have my little baby, my mom's
Yeah.
gonna have to go. I totally approve everything for that. Sorry, my mom's.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you want me to zoom in?
Yep,
I'll be
sure,
2
go.
minutes. Just gotta walk home. I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Sorry, guys.
I'll bring you these things.
Thank you.
So is it?
Be on Tuesday.
Is there gonna be like a greenhouse there or?
There
you
will
just-
not, no, it
any
will
kind
be
of structure?
a commercial tent, and that will actually come down in the winter. So it will be removable. The only thing that will stay on site is like a storage shed, roughly 10 by 16. No electricity, no water in the shed. Nothing, just be for storage.
Are you gonna water the plants?
There is water on site
Okay.
currently, and we're working with.
There's a box currently that led to Cindy's.
Okay.
And we have already spoken with the water department and they are totally amicable to putting a space in for us.
And there's already like curb cut for.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I just.
It's a separate curb cut. It is in no way, it doesn't attach in any way to what we have currently going on.
And the tent and the shed would prevent anyone from driving through, even if they wanted to the Coffee Mania. That'll be right in the way of that. And cover that section
What-
there.
What is the distance between the driveway for the proposed property, the proposed use and the driveway in and out of the Coffee Mania? I don't have that. The map is so.
It's
We're looking,
at least
we have 113 feet right to the property of where Coffee made, but then roughly another 10 to 20 feet. Extra, so you're looking at about 125 feet.
Between the driveways,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
it look like that, but. My concern is that with traffic in and out, apparently the county didn't see any problem with it, but,
I mean, there was two places there before, cause there used to be a Texas,
So.
Where- yeah. there was two ice cream places.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ice cream or Carl.
Yeah, a Texas hot dog or something, whatever, when I was like 7, and then you could go next door and get an ice cream.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Plenty of area to pull in and pull out. Or
yeah.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any overflow into
So.
the road.
You're saying no bathroom facilities.
There would not be any.
No food served.
No food, no.
But what about your employees?
We can
Um,
use our bathroom.
Yep.
Hmm?
We'll use Coffee Mania. The hut. Yep.
I approve that activity.
Well, they're gonna use coffee. Just that.
We're also right down the road, so we
I-
have
I
to
live-
really,
yeah,
we could really
probably.
throw a stone from our house.
our home is right down on the right-hand side.
Not
When
that
they
we would
were in
have
front
to,
of
but-
Coffee Mania prior in Portland, Harold used our bathroom all the time.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
more amicable.
well, I really miss the Christmas,
Yeah.
items they used to sell.
You got that.
So when will you, if this gets approved, when do you plan on opening? Do you plan on opening like?
We may do,
We've talked
this
about doing.
fall,
Yeah.
sales of Christmas trees. And then,
Mums.
mums and Christmas trees, possible pumpkins. But, then it would close down until April,
Yeah,
March.
Easter.
So you're talking March through October? Or November?
March
Let me-
till,
Well, April, it's Easter usually, right? Sometimes it's a little earlier, so April to.
roughly 8 months of the year.
Yeah,
April through December.
if we
because
just
you wanna
want,
do
yeah,
Christmas
we're
trees.
talking about Christmas trees, so there might be a little, time where we're shut down a little bit between the mums and the Christmas trees. Cause that doesn't start until, Black Friday, so there's a little gap there, but. And the tent wouldn't be up until most likely May.
So the weather.
With the weather.
How late is this operation? Does it go into dark?
Well, in the winter time, I mean, it does get dark at 5 o'clock, but we were thinking no later than 6 o'clock.
Would you have no electricity?
No, like, then that's,
We talked about solar
we
possibly.
talked about some
small
solar lights just to hang up around,
generator.
but.
Questions?
You have to do the safety one. I don't wanna-
Type 2. Okay, word discussions, this is a type 2. No seeker required. Need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
To approve the site plan, and if you have any conditions.
Section.
Ashley, or Paula, you moved.
I moved and that's the second then.
And then Ava came.
And then Ava came.
So sorry, my mom seconded, she's like, she's crying. She's wonder, mommy.
Like her dad.
Too many people, you know,
Yeah.
We had a motion, a second, to approve the site plan. As submitted.
by the way, you might saw the word signage, regulations on signage, size.
Okay.
You can get that.
Okay.
Through Kevin, right? Yeah.
Motion made and seconded.
We have a sixth board member.
Yes, we do.
Sorry.
I.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, back to this one. I talked with the code officer. And I talked with. Ally, talked with Ally. And I'll also say, I talked with Mr. Stiles. I told Ally that looks, you know, it looks halfway decent before the planning board. She's got to meet those 3 conditions. 2, one of 2, the number 2, you don't control because the ZBA controls it. I told her she needs to file an application for a variance so that she can get on. I think their meeting the 25th. And then their meeting's 25th. You indicated that she has a problem with going that long without income. And then she told me, correct me if I'm wrong, because I want you to go on the record. She says 2 of the 7 children are her,
4 of the 7.
4 of the 7, well, 2 are
Well,
your,
2 are my own.
2 of her own
Four-
kids, so that doesn't even apply. And your own kids, they're her own kids. Then she said that the other 2 that you're willing,
That I-
the other 2 are her niece and nephew. I mean, we have a lot of people that babysit their niece and nephew.
Yeah, it's.
And then she told me she would be willing to put the other 3 on hold. You know, she's not gonna be having them there for this month, correct?
Correct.
So it would be her 2 children, and her
Plus the
niece
2.
and nephew,
Yes,
correct?
correct. So I could have at least a little income. While
And then
applying.
I talked with Kevin, the code officer, he says that's okay. But I want the board to hear, pipe in on this. If any, this is your time for comment.
Yeah, sounds
I
good.
don't, yeah, and I don't think that you need any kind of permit to watch your own family in house.
That's exactly what I
I don't
told.
think you need any kind of
So
daycare
then
licensing
we
or
could come back,
business licensing.
if you want, I don't know where you stand, we could come back here. And maybe she could do a little better job
Absolutely.
of making sure all the square footage is correct. And maybe she could do a good job of going to see if she could find an old survey map at real property tax. And if she can't find that, she can go to real property tax that would give her a tax map. So that you could see relations, and of course, you got it up here on that Google Earth. But that would give you a better chance to see how things are going over there. Then you already know, and you already heard about the protecting the neighbors. And then the last thing you could do, and take a little more time to consider, it's up to you. A little more time to consider, the traffic pattern. The other thing you could do, you could pass it only contingent upon her getting a variance. That's up to you, whatever way you wanna do it.
Well, I would still suggest passing it contingent upon getting the variance. So putting it back on our agenda for the next meeting, the day before the zoning board meeting. This gives us some more assurance that she only's got 1 step to go. The big one.
So you're saying pass it tonight, pass the site plan tonight, contingent upon her getting a getting a variance approved. And that in the meantime, it's her children and only the 1 niece and nephew in the meantime. Is that correct?
Right.
And that you understand if they do this and that you don't get the variance, that's probably about as much as you're gonna be able to do,
I understand.
okay?
Thank you.
Well,
No, you left your keys on the floor.
It's a good spot.
No driving all angry.
Or
So
something.
are you doing that, are you
Yes,
making that?
I
motion?
ready to entertain the motion?
Okay, yes, first of all, this is a type 2, don't need no seeker required. So, we're going to move the site plan with the conditions of 1 and 3. Three from county planning and contingent variance, area variance. From CBA, okay, is that what you wanted, Mike? Yep. Okay, motion to approve with conditions 1 and 3 from county planning being met, contingent upon an area variance from ZBA. Moved by Mike,
I'll second.
all in second.
Does she have his, application for variance?
Email it to.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor,
Aye.
Yeah, she paid.
opposed? Motion was carried.
The baby.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, next item on the agenda is, we have any other business?
Just a minutes.
2 minutes, okay.
And then, there's one thing after that, another thing, and then,
Minutes, you have the minutes that were put in your packet this afternoon, Jessica and I are not sure who made the motions and who seconded them, because my notes were not that great last time. I circled the wrong names, maybe.
This is all from your notes, or is this being recorded off the
I
recording?
thought it looked good when I was.
I think it looks good. I'm just not sure that I made the motion for the Sweeney.
For the was.
For Sweeney site, the Sweeney pest removal place. But it is what it is. I mean,
Well, we're all in favor of it anyway.
yeah,
The video did not get going properly.
oh, that's right, the Andrew was handling it.
And,
I thought we did, Jessica. I thought I seconded you, but I don't think.
Maybe, you may have, I'm telling you.
I can't remember, but I thought that, but.
what I really try to do is I give Maureen my notes that I copied, that I written down here.
Well, I wasn't there, so I can't contribute anything.
Okay, so.
Dan was not.
Hmm?
Dan, were you present?
No.
No,
Yeah.
so that. Oh, the asterisk, okay.
Well, actually, it was second by, I don't think it was, well, maybe it was Ashley. I don't know.
I was on Zoom.
You were on Zoom.
Yes, she was
Yeah,
like-
yeah, okay.
Okay,
She's
well,
still- she's still little.
minutes of 7:25 meetings. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the minute.
I will second it. I'll second it.
Made and seconded, all in favor? Opposed?
I'm not opposed. In favor.
Do you say aye?
It was just
Say
saying.
aye.
Oh,
4 months.
are you done with your minutes?
Yeah, but
Yes.
we have one more thing.
We've got discussed the local law, but we've approved the minutes.
What are you talking about, the local law?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the local law, and we adjourned before we talked about it, or?
No, it would not.
Okay. All
Right.
I'm well aware of this. The chairman has the village, revised our code book It's a monumental process, and we're also trying to get it digitally in E360. So Don, myself, the code officer, and the deputy mayor, Don, Pat, we went through working with general codes, worked with all the other departments, and revised our code stem to stern. And worked through 100-page analysis that general codes have put together, and answer their questions. Again, it was a long back and forth process. What you have there is the local law that will be adopted by the Board of Trustees after you have given time to take a look at it. And at your next meeting, just there will be an item on the agenda would say, yes, we have no issues with local law and or the adoption of the revised code. You know, again, if we're all concurrent. What you also have there is the county planning comments back to us from our final revised code sent to them. They had questions.
Right.
We sent those questions, or they had comments, sorry. They had comments. We sent those comments to general codes. General codes wrote back in red on those comments. And then we, the village, answered them in blue. That's what the blue markings are. Take the word ignore as a grain of salt. That was just there for brevity's sake. Doesn't necessarily mean the village is ignoring that particular item. We just wanted to adopt the code and then come back to those issues. We didn't feel at the time that they were pertinent issues to hold up the code process of getting the code finished up. So that's what those are. So I've given you this information between now and the next meeting. If you have questions about it, just let me know. I also sent you out an email earlier today that has the link where you can actually Google Village of Homer Codebook and it will pop up like it's going to pop up on the E360. The whole thing's there. You can take a look at that if you're so inclined. And again, if you have any questions about what you see there, just let me know.
This is what's going on. Your current code says the following. The village board of trustees may from time to time, on its own motion of a recommendation or petition of the planning board, amend, supplement, change, modify, or repeal the regulations and provisions of this chapter following a public hearing and in accordance with law. Each such proposed amendment or change shall be referred to the planning board for a report thereon before the public hearing provided for above. Which means you now have been given all the information you need, including the link to the entire code for your review for a month. And then when you come back here in September at your meeting, there should be a meeting in September, if there's nothing else on but this, then you give your consensus report. And then it goes to the village board, and then they can hold another public hearing because it's already gone down to county for their review. And that's what needs to be done. That's why you have the whole length of the code, because technically you should have access to the entire new code.
So I just need a little bit more context. The code is the code book, that thing right there?
Yeah, the new code.
Okay, and so these are only a few pages, so these are the few pages that are being suggested that will affect that thing?
That's the local law that needs to be adopted, that will be in the local law that draft that I have to send to the Secretary of State after the village board of trustees does the code book. The entirety of the code book, stuff that was revised, stuff that was left, stuff that was taken out, that can be per the link of the email that I sent out earlier. You can click on that and you have access to the entirety of the code book.
Yeah.
So this stuff is just what county planning had questioned that.
That's a different document.
But this stuff, county planning had questions for the code on this.
They had comments, not questions.
Comments.
General codes had questions for us per those comments. We answered them in blue.
Yeah, but the first thing is Article 1 adoption of code. That's what I need context. So where is that in that book? It's only a section?
That's how you adopt a new code book. That code book is 1991. We revised the code. That's the language that will state we are adopting our new code book, updated code book per whenever that is, October 2025.
And the changes that are being suggested in the code book.
Not all the changes are in there, though. It talks about a few things that are taken out, and then it talks about some of the other changes. I can't give you all those changes. It's a mountain of paperwork.
So
That's why I gave
that's
the
what
link.
that link is.
Yes, sir.
So are we reviewing this, how to change the code, the part
No,
of
no,
adoption code.
what you're looking at is not how to change the code. You're looking at the new code that has the revisions. Really, what you should be doing is thumbing through the link, going through, at least scanning through the entire new.
Look at
code.
things that are important to you that have come up in the planning meeting and see what if there are any changes to things that you've already made decisions about. And or things that you have concerns, give me an email and we'll talk about it.
So we'd be commenting on all those things in that link that were changed.
Everything in that link, yeah.
Yep.
Again, the link's not gonna direct you to changes, the link directs you to the entirety of the
Oh,
code.
wow, take us over.
Yeah, you gotta go through the whole.
This is
code.
exactly what you do. I mean, you're probably gonna get a link to the code like this. And what you can do over the next month is just scan through it, look at it, see if there's something that's pertinent you're really interested in. Look at it and then just look at it overall and see if there's something you're happy with, you're not happy with. And then you collectively, as a board, make a report to be verbally to the village board as to what you think of the new code.
And their comments relate to all that?
No,
No,
their comments were,
those are the final
they,
comments.
they reviewed everything and then they made comment, they had questions about what changes were made. And in the blue is how,
Yeah, I got
And
that.
those comments now are incorporated in the new code. That's why I keep saying, look at the link.
so
Make
that
it
doesn't
much easier.
cover everything that was changed. That just,
Yeah,
these comments are only what they
I-
were
I got-
concerned
I got
about.
that. And this, what is the Article 1 adoption of code?
You don't worry about that.
Well,
Don't worry.
Don't worry about any of this.
Don't worry about that.
Well, basically what it says is that this, by adopting this, we're superseding and replacing the 1991 code. That's what that first paragraph is. That's all, but my suggestion is gonna be that what we're really gonna be looking at is zoning and planning in the code book.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanna look up dogs, fine, that's not a problem. Now look up sidewalks or driveways. I don't know, we went through it.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, but zoning and planning, I would recommend you that. Again, you have access to the entirety of the code. Can you do a full review of the entire code by next month meeting?
No, but you can glance at it.
Right.
You know, look at it.
This
glance
is,
at it.
then this is just, it's really the purview of the village board of trustees to adopt the code.
Right.
They're looking for you, if there are serious questions from this planning board, then we'll entertain them. But we're just looking as a courtesy, giving it to the planning board, this is what the village board of trustees are doing. If you have questions and concerns, let us know.
So I have a question because
Well, we got about 5 minutes
I know,
because
I
they're
know.
on and
I
stuff.
may have misunderstood what someone said. But was there something in there that said periodically there may be recommendations to change a code?
And
And then it would come to us and then okay, all right, that's,
And that's what we're doing right
all
here.
right.
And the last thing is Dan will be on next month. I'm asking if Dan gets on next month, we'll have an idea how many floors he's going.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Very good.
We gotta get out.
I have a question for you about that before we leave, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
I will motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Actually,